Alright, so this is going to be another movie review. This one's called In La Cama, which means in the bed in Espanol. This is a Chilean flick. And Ryan, I never actually saw My Dinner with Andre, but somehow this movie reminded me of My Dinner with Andre, the 1982 film that Siskel and Ebert helped to promote um, back in the day, whenever it was, like 30 years ago. Um, yeah, this movie is nothing but conversation, but it's boring conversation. For instance, the male dude, he likes to talk about movies, but when he talks about movies, he talks about Pedro, what's his name, and Godard, the communist arsehole from France. Um, so you can tell right off the bat that the director has a fetish for Godard or European art directors, and Godard in particular. Um, and the way you know is by the conversation that they're having about movies. Another way you know that this dude has a Godard fetish is how the camera is constantly shaking and bouncing around and sloppy editing, just like Godard, but 10 times worse. It actually made me dizzy. So this movie takes place in a cheap motel in Santiago, Chile, and some young girl who's about to get married is having an affair with this dude. I guess she got drunk at some bar, and he decided to go on a hotel while the fiance was on a business trip. Um, so most of the movie takes place in the cheap motel bed that has a condom underneath. Um, there are some bathroom scenes. I think there's one a bathtub scene, but it only lasts a few minutes. The music in this is horrible. Um, it kind of reminded me of Sex and Lucia because um, like the strip scene in Sex and Lucia, she's just pretty much dancing around the hotel room and singing some Chilean version of Britney Spears. So that sucked. I hated that. I pretty much hated the whole movie. And it's an hour and 25 minutes, but it seems like it's 2 hours. I kept wanting to stop the movie and go online, check Facebook or YouTube or something, email, anything but watch this flick. So this I started working two jobs. It took me about a week and a half, maybe 2 weeks to finish watching this. And it was painful to watch. I hated every second of it, and I hate the director especially. Which is not to say that the Chilean babe isn't hot, but it did make up for the bad direction. Um, so I just want to make a caveat at the end that I've never seen My Dinner with Andre, but for some reason Siskel and Ebert talked about that movie so much that I started having flashbacks because this could have been a better movie if they were talking about interesting things like I guess in My Dinner with Andre they talk about being a young dude in the 70s. But in this movie they have really nothing interesting to talk about. I mean, it's not to say that the dialogue is inane, but it's just ordinary and plain and not very interesting. For instance, the guy likes to watch cartoons on the television while he's chatting with his booty call, as it were. Um, so that's another thing that irritated me about this movie. There's so many things that I hated about this movie. I can't really pin down all of it, but let's just say it was boring as hell, and the conversation was lame. Uh, 1 hour and 25 minutes of boring conversation is enough to put anybody to sleep. So if you ever get insomnia, watch this movie, and I guarantee that you'll fall asleep after maybe 10, 15 minutes of watching. Okay, yeah, I was so bored that I couldn't even follow the dialogue, and I didn't want to rewind the movie to discover what they were talking about because I didn't really care. Okay, so I gave this movie 1 star on Netflix. I absolutely hated it, and I don't think you should watch it neither. I think the only reason I put on my Netflix queue because it was under foreign hot steamy category. But there's nothing hot or steamy about people chit-chatting in a cheap motel room. Okay? If you're going to be a man, you don't talk about Godard to your booty call in the hotel room. I mean, come on, that's not realistic. That's just some stupid director's fetish. Alright? That's all I gotta say. Laters.